What's up, you guys? It's Matt here. Welcome back to another video. Now, in this one, I want to talk about JASMY coin, and I feel like this is a lesson that everyone can learn from. And I know a lot of people that may hate me that say, Matt, you don't know what you're talking about, even though I've been right on many occasions, will say, hey, you're only saying this is a lesson that you can learn from because of the fact that you did something wrong. Um, Most people out there won't even claim that they did something wrong. However, this was all part of the plan. This is the reason why I end up taking profit. This is the reason why I make these moves. So if you would give me a little bit of a chance, maybe you won't, maybe you will. I don't know. You'll hear me out. You'll understand where I'm coming from with this. I make these moves strategically because of these negative things that could happen. Now, most people will say, well, why don't you take the aggressive route and just take everything out if you know that it's going to happen? It's not a certainty that that thing is going to happen. But we'll get into that as we address those situations, right? So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell for more of these videos. Also, make sure you check out some of the links down below. It does help out the channel. And if you guys want to follow me on Twitter, follow me on Patreon, you could do that. Also, if you want to trade on Margex, and make some of these trades, make some of these risky trades, know that they do have a lot of risks to them, and potentially make a decent amount of profit, feel free to check out my Margex link down below. I know a lot of people that are having success with it, and some people that may not be having some success with it, and they've reached out to me and said, hey, what could I be doing better? And that's the conversation that we have, right? It's all about building your own strategy. What have you learned from the things that you've done? Well, have you aggressively invested and not paid attention to it? Well, maybe you should pay attention to it a little bit more. Have you invested without looking at the chart? Well, maybe you should pay attention to the chart a little bit more. So there's simple things that people can change in order to make themselves more profitable or even just profitable at all. So feel free to check out my link down below. Reach out to me on Patreon if you guys are interested in learning more about it. But I also teach a lot on YouTube, and this is one of those teachable moments. So again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you don't know, JASMY coin has dropped today. It's down by 3.28%. It's actually down to 2.7 cents, which is very interesting to see it drop. We expected to see a little bit of an increase and then continuation of that decrease. I do expect to see a bounce. It's just I'm not certain as to where this bounce is going to be. There's multiple levels to where it could be, but right now it's looking like it could be in the current stage, in the current moment, where we are. But you can see that we're at a $1.3 billion market cap with $80 million worth of volume. Volume to market cap ratio is low. Volume overall is definitely low. It's down 13% for JASMY coin, down 4% overall for the entire crypto market. So seeing that and seeing that movement over the last 7 days being down 12%, it's not something that feels good, right? It's up to 3.1, 3.2 cents, whatever, those levels. But the thing that people do is if they're looking for a short-term play like a Margex or a leverage trade, they will hold on to it forever without actually taking profit and being happy with what they did receive. In most cases, I wouldn't say all of them because not all positions have hit those levels. Like my XRP positions haven't hit those levels. But if I'm up 100%, 200%, I'm taking my initial investment. If I'm up 1,000%, I've already taken my initial investment and now I'm leaning more into taking profit. So certain things, as you get certain amounts of money, you will gather some profit. And if you don't, you potentially could lose everything that you put into there, especially on a leverage trading play. So what is this video all about? What is this lesson learned that people can have? Well, it's related to Margex, right? If you don't know, I'm trading on Margex. It's a platform to where you can leverage trade up to, 50 or 100x leverage on BTC, 50x leverage on JASMY coin, 50x leverage on XRP, and 25x leverage on meme coins. Now, with this play, I did make a recent move that was in JASMY coin. I invested when it was at the 27 level at a 50x leverage. And if you don't know 50x leverage is, if you lose in value of 1%, everything that you put in there gets completely liquidated. So let's say you invested $100 at a 50x leverage, you lose 2%, you lose everything that you put in. You lose that entire $100, which may not be breaking the bank, but it is something that provides a lot of risk in losing $100 very, very quickly. Now, with that, I saw a bounce. It went from 27 up to 28, up to 29, up to 30, or 3.2 cents. Now, as it hit those levels, I was up 800, 900%. So what I decided to do was I took $450 worth of profit throughout that process. I took 100, then I took another 300 something. So $450 worth of profit. And the reason why I took that $450 worth of profit was because I want to take, well, technically $350 worth of profit, $100 for my initial investment. The reason why I took that was because there's always a chance that things can come back, especially in leverage trading, because the margin for error is so small. If it increases a small amount, you gain a lot because you're leverage trading 50x, right? You have $100, you're looking at $5,000 that you are investing into that platform or into that position. However, you're only risking your $100. Does that make sense? So the point is, you want to make sure that you are doing everything the right way and that anything could change very, very quickly. So when I saw that, I had to take my initial investment. I had to take my profit because of these things that could happen. Now I was up $900. I could have taken the entire actually I was up 1,000 something dollars. I could have taken all of that and said, I want all of it because I know there's a chance that it could come back. But there also is that opportunity, especially as we get into July, where July 2nd was supposed to be an aggressive date for Ethereum and Ethereum-like positions, that you could see JASMY coin that runs. And I didn't want to risk that, and I wanted to let that play out. It's all gravy anyways, right? It's not my money, it's house money. So I left it in there. Today, it got liquidated. The price came down to 27, just below my point, where I had to get profit taken out. And I don't know why it's not coming up. I took some other profit from smaller positions that I showed an example of, but it's not showing up. But I got liquidated just today with my one position for JASMY coin. Now I still have my other position for JASMY coin that I took $700+ worth of profit from this play, which is currently still up 3,950%. It would have to come all the way down to 1.5 cents to get completely liquidated. But I already took $750 worth of profit. The reason why this is a teachable moment is because even though it got liquidated, I'm still in the green, and now I can still invest $100 here. So I invested another $100 in a JASMY coin. I'm planning on investing another 200. If this does get liquidated, I know would be risking a lot. If this does get liquidated at these levels, then I have another level that I do plan to invest in at. But the reason why I decided to invest in here was because where we stand, we are very, very close to a bottom out point, to a point to where it could bounce. This could also be a level to where it is consolidating to continue to drop down from there, but we are seeing a strong support level there. So seeing that made me feel like we may see something more aggressive. So I put in a 25x leverage, which gave me a little bit more room down to 26 so that I don't have any issue of getting liquidated. The issue that I had the first time was that I invested down here, but I put in a 50x leverage. So even though it wasn't really an issue because I made money on the way up as it got up to 33, right, 3.3 cents, I eventually only lost money because I put in that 50x leverage. If I put in a 25x leverage, this spot would have never been hit until maybe it does decrease below that. And there's always a possible chance that it could do that, especially with more negative days and you don't know how July is going to go. So am I saying that this is foolproof, that this is not going to get liquidated? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying I'm trying to play it out and play more of a risk because it is a gamble. You're playing certain things. You're either playing patterns, you're playing support levels, you're playing resistance levels, you're playing a certain level of risk, and sometimes it just doesn't go your way. But you want to make sure that you cover your bases if it somehow doesn't in the end. So my $450, right, or my $350 can now go back into this investment and I can continue to invest and continue to find these lower levels and have more chances to profit. But then if I don't, I never spend over what I had as my initial investment. So if my initial investment was $100, I gained $450. I want to keep that 100 set aside and never touch it again. The 350, I could do whatever I want with it and put it back in at multiple stages. Now, if the first one blows up, then I gain even more. If the first one doesn't blow up, then I have the second time and a third time. But I have to make sure that I'm learning from every single chance that I get, every single level that I see it at. So right now, I have over $1,000 worth of room to play with. I'm not going to do that. I'm only going to play with $300, and it is taking a risk. It is a form of gambling because you're risking it hitting a certain level. If you invested outright, it's about it going to zero, and it's not going to go to zero. But if you're leverage trading, it's about it losing 2% or losing 4% or 5%, and that's not what I really want. But if I can gain a lot more by utilizing other people's money, I'm going to do that. You minimize risk by finding what works for your strategy, right? So anyways, that's what you can learn with it. I've been very, very profitable. Yes, I did get liquidated and I could have taken another $450. On top of that, I could have taken everything, but that takes away from the possibility of gaining so much more. It doesn't mean that it 100% will, but it takes away from the possibility of gaining so much more. Now, if it's an outright trade, you do the same thing, you're never going to get completely liquidated. You may lose some of that position, but you'll never get completely liquidated. But for Margex, you may get completely liquidated, and you're taking that risk in order to gain a lot more in a shorter time frame. Anyways, if you're interested in Margex and learning a lot more, if this went completely over your head, feel free to check out my link for Patreon down below. I have a bunch of videos on there for Margex, and I also have other videos on YouTube for Margex if you guys want to learn how to trade and learn the basics, because it's not that difficult to understand. I'm not going to make it super complex for you. I'm going to tell you, look at support and resistances, look at the RSI, look at the bare bones, the basic information that could make you profitable, because I don't need to see all of this extra complicated stuff like looking at multiple EMAs and multiple indicators there, multiple patterns and what's going on here and what's going on there, and playing aggressively both sides of it. I've made money from playing both sides, but mainly I play the buy side. So anyways, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell for more of these videos. Also check out my link for Margex and check out my link for Patreon. I'm going to get out of here. I'll catch you in the next one. See ya.